Hey guys, what's going on? NoZoupForYou here, and today we're going to talk about the Yashima again, the Tier 10 Premium Japanese battleship that is basically a Yamato with bigger guns. Who thought the Yamato could have bigger guns? I certainly didn't, but it does now. Before I get to that though, we have a ship to give away. I promised a Mainz, or Mainz, for one individual, and the winner has been drawn. So congratulations, Wayward Way on the North American server. You are the winner of that ship. It will be credited to you in the coming week. Alright, on to this ship. You know, I've actually previewed this ship once already. It was taken away from our accounts, and now it's back again for another round of testing. So you can interpret that two ways. They want to make more changes, or the ship coming is inevitable. They haven't told me either way, so I'm not going to speculate. All I know is that I played it again, and I've kind of updated my thoughts on this ship. First and foremost, some quick stats of this ship. 97,200 hit points. Artillery, your biggies right here, 510mm guns. Of course, you only have 3 turrets with 2 guns each. You can get your reload down to 23.8 seconds, which is pretty darn quick for a battleship, especially with guns of this size. The downside to that is your shell velocity is 765 meters per second. That is slow. Very, very, very slow. AA on this ship is pretty good. Rates 97 out of 100. Maneuverability, what you would expect for a ship of this size. Maximum speed of 28.4 knots. Turning circle radius of 900 meters. Rudder shift of 18.7 seconds. You are the Exxon Valdez. Last but not least, you've got your concealment, and the best concealment you're going to get out of this ship is 14.1 kilometers. Which, for a ship of this size and with its guns, I would say isn't too horrible. I mean, I know it's not spectacular, but it isn't. So, I've been playing this ship a lot more, and, you know, when I first tested this ship, I can't remember enjoying it too much. I mean, I said I found the ship largely lackluster, and didn't really see a purpose to it. At least, there was no real purpose in playing this over the Yamato. Now, I haven't really changed my views on the ship, though I will say I've had a little more fun in it, just playing it in different ways, and trying to get the most out of this ship. Once again, the guns on this ship have horrid dispersion. I mean, you're going to whiff sometimes at ships that are 15 kilometers out. I mean, it's happened before. You'll straddle the ship, and when you're only firing 4 to 6 rounds at that ship, you know, those are big misses right there. But again, if you do happen to hit, it's going to hit hard. I mean, ultimately, this ship does its best when you close in nice and slow and get the jump on a bunch of fat, juicy battleships that are pulling out behind islands and decide to give you broadside, and then you just absolutely chunk them. This thing can do a lot of damage to cruisers too, but the problem is, cruisers are fast, cruisers have a more slim profile, and again, if they're at about that 15 kilometer range, yeah, half the time you might land some shots, and some huge shots, but half the time you're also going to straddle that ship, and that's when it gets very, very frustrating. The accuracy on this ship just is not there, and it has to not be there, because with the size of these guns, it would be just a little too much to have really good accuracy, or Yamato accuracy. That being said, I've enjoyed it this time around a lot more than before. Yes, this ship might just be one really big speed bump. You're kind of a fleet in being, somewhat like the Tirpitz in World War II. The fact that you're there is enough to deter the enemy. Anywhere you go on this map, enemies are going to have to devote their resources to taking you down. And some of them might be afraid to do it because your guns are huge, and they're going to hurt that individual. Unless they get really close, and then you might actually overpin them if it's a ship like a cruiser. Still, you cannot take this ship for granted. No, it might not have the accuracy of the Yamato, but if you don't respect this ship, it is going to wreck you, and it's going to wreck hard. I mean, for some reason, I found myself tanking a lot more in this ship than even the Yamato. I mean, I've done 4 million, 5 million tanked damage in this ship. I don't know if it's because I made this ship repair easily and picked every single repair module that I could. I don't know. But for some reason, I feel that I can tank a lot more in this ship. And that's good, though. That's real good. And it's helpful. Because, again, sitting there soaking up damage is going to help your team a lot. Just being there is going to help your team a lot. But the fun in this ship happens when you decide to actually pull forward and stop being a fleet and being and actually being a brawler. When you get up close and personal, that's where this ship shines, and that's where you can have a lot of fun in this ship. But you can't push too early, and you can't push too late. Either one of those two is a recipe for disaster in this ship, because it can get melted by HE fairly quickly. You push too soon, you're going to get singled out. Push too late, you're slow, you're not going to get there. So there's definitely an art to it. Overall, though, this work-in-progress ship that still might have changes made to it, I've said before, I really don't see the utility in it above a Yamato. A Yamato can hit just as hard in most circumstances. You're going to have better aim. Then again, you know, maybe you want the big guns. Maybe you want to be able to absolutely slaughter something when you get up close to an enemy ship. And this ship will do it. More so even than the Yamato. It's interesting because while the Ohio is to the Montana, this is not to the Yamato. I mean, Ohio is a bigger gunned Montana with less guns. However, I feel that it's a step in the right direction. Offers something different, offers something good in other ways. I don't feel that this is an Ohio version of a ship for the IJN line. This is just kind of out there. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of utility to it. I've enjoyed it a lot more this second go around of testing. But once again, I wouldn't go out of my way to get it if I have the Yamato. Just because, again, your dispersion's horrible and it's going to be very frustrating landing shots or watching those shots that you think are going to hit actually miss a ship. That's the biggest frustrating part about this, your dispersion. And when you only have 6 guns and you can't hit a ship, even though your reload is around 23 seconds or so, that's still valuable time that's ticking away when you could be landing shots in another ship. So anyhow, don't know when this is coming. It's coming in the near future. We'll just have to keep our ears and eyes open. And congratulations again to Wayward Way for that win of the Mainz. And I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.